Welcome to Workstyle Stories, because life changes and every life is different. Today we're talking about stress, about building a portfolio career, and about being able to take our work with us anywhere around the world. To talk about that, I'm joined by the lovely Ella. Hello!
Hiya.
Ella, welcome to Workstyle Stories. I'm looking forward to getting into understanding more about your work style. But before I do, would you mind just telling everybody who you are, where you are, and what you do?
Yes, so I'm Ella, as you already said. I'm living currently just north of London in Bedfordshire, and I work across a kind of a broad spectrum of marketing, but mostly in social media and copywriting.
Okay, so you're self-employed, and you're doing lots of different bits and pieces across the kind of marketing mix and creating stuff. Has that always been your line of work, kind of doing that sort of stuff?
No, so I did a degree in marketing, so I
Okay.
had a bit of a broad spectrum of knowledge at that point. But then I went into agencies, so I worked at a couple of different agencies specifically in social media marketing. So
Okay.
very kind of pigeonholed into that world, which I loved, but didn't really allow me to kind of expand and use all of my knowledge across marketing and specifically copywriting as well, which I really enjoy.
Yes, when you work in a traditional agency structure, you very much get briefed to do one part of the process lots of times, don't you? Rather than necessarily being able to turn your hand to lots of different things, you very quickly get labelled. And so, how did you find that that agency work? Because it can be pretty demanding, should we say?
Yeah, it was good in a lot of ways. It allowed me to kind of progress, like I say, within that one element of social media. So I gained a lot of knowledge in that sphere. But in general, as a working environment, I found after a couple of years even that it just really wasn't for me. It was very high stress, which I know even as a freelancer, a lot of people go through stress, but it was the kind of stress that you just can't control. It was always stress put on me, as everyone I think experiences in that kind of world. And I just found it was actually it just didn't fit with my working style. I work kind of best in the mornings and in the evenings. And I was finding I was kind of having to put all of my all into like 9 till 6 every day, and I just didn't have that brain capacity to do what was expected of me, I think.
It's really interesting when you talk about different stressors and stressors. There is a big difference, isn't there, between the stress you experience as a freelancer, which is of your own making, versus the stress that you receive it as an employee, where someone else is putting that on you. It's a very different feeling, isn't it? And I can relate to that. And I kind of got to the point of burnout as a result of that. And the realization coming out of burnout was I need control over those stresses. Like, having that put on me is not something that I can sustainably manage and stay well mentally. So I guess it's a similar thing for you. So presumably working freelance, you found that the stress is different.
Yeah, really different. I think there's kind of two elements to it. There's the fact that now I get to choose which clients I work with and for. So, if there is a high pressure situation, I'm enjoying the work at the same time. So there's less stress in that way. And then there's also the fact that, like you say, you're putting it on yourself. So if I need to, take Friday off this week, take a step back because I'm having a really bad week, then I can choose to do that. And I don't have anyone kind of dictating when I work.
Brilliant. So in terms of, you've obviously made a transition at some point from turning your back on that agency life to starting on your own. How long ago was that, and how's it been? Or was there a reason why you did that?
So it was actually just before lockdown hit, not knowing what was going to happen, was when I made the decision to leave. And it was interesting you talked about burnout just then, because I think I was kind of on the verge and choking myself away. So the main motivator for me was kind of just to get out of that environment. I had actually also heard about kind of the Workstyle movement before I'd left. So it'd given me the idea that actually there was another option out there. I didn't feel totally stuck. And another thing I haven't mentioned is I'm also in the Army Reserve, so it was something I always had on the back burner. So I didn't feel like I was going into nothing when I left. I had that in my back pocket if I needed it. which was
Yeah, that's interesting.
and then I spent kind of a few months not doing anything. I think I needed a break really when I came out of that career, and then sort of late summer, early autumn 2020, I started freelancing and getting back into marketing again.
Good on you for taking the plunge and just saying enough's enough. Very often people feel restricted by employment and afraid to just leave a job without a job to go to because it's scary, it's daunting if you're not going to have necessarily an income or anything to do. But solutions tend to present themselves, I find, in these situations. And it sounds like you had a good number of options, but even so, making the decision to just leave on the basis of, it's right for you, for your mental health, I think is brave, is the right thing to do, but understandably not very easy. So you've built a portfolio career in a way then, so you've got kind of options which you can flip between or do more of or less of. How's that helping you to have a work style, and what is your work style like?
So I'll start with my work style. So my work style generally now is more kind of, like I say, working in the mornings and the evenings. I tend to have the afternoons off of work just because I can't concentrate. And I do my most focused work in the morning. So I guess the way the portfolio career helps me is it means that I can take on those projects, that things like copywriting that I love to do but require a lot of concentration. I can sort of do them in the morning, and then other tasks like more general marketing tasks or research tasks and things like that I'm happy to do in the evening. So it means I can spread that out, and it means I'm not constantly in the same kind of state of mind, which makes it really varied and interesting as well. I've also found it really helpful in terms of like actually getting work, because obviously there's a lot to be said about niching, definitely, but I found for me personally, starting off, having all of these different varied experiences and expertise means that I have more opportunities I can jump on to get freelance work, which has really helped.
Yeah, that's interesting. I really like the way you talk about different work fitting into your work style. We talk a lot about work style being when and where you work, which of course it is by definition. But what it enables as well is to consider the nature of the work and when you do which types of work, when you've got the energy, or as you say, when you need deep focus. I think that's a really interesting angle when thinking about your portfolio of work that you might be taking on as an individual, to think about how it fits with your work style. I think that's really interesting, something I'm going to try and think about myself. Ella, thank you. So what does the future look like? So you've created this great portfolio. What are you going to do with it?
So actually my next plan is in July I'm moving to Cyprus with my husband and my dog for his work. So
wow,
that's the thing that Workstyles allowed me to do, just take my work literally anywhere. So I imagine I'll be adapting my work style a little bit so that I can make the most of the beach and going on walks when it's not too hot and things like that. But I'll work that out when it gets to it, I think. But yeah, it's definitely an amazing thing it's allowed me to do.
Wow, that's fantastic. So you will be able to take all of the work that you're doing now from just north of London with you to Cyprus, and just carry on as if nothing's changed, except you'll have better climate to enjoy and the activities that might bring. Fantastic. Ella, such an inspiring Workstyle story. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. We've run out of time, but we've been Workstyle Stories, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.